Yo, what's up, guys? So I've been getting a decent amount of comments asking about my settings in game, so I thought I'd just make this quick video where I just show you all my settings, and you can just copy whatever you like, and let's get right into it. So in the gameplay tab, I believe these are all defaults. I haven't changed really anything from here, and none of this really matters at all. The only thing I'd make sure is to have it on main stats only over all stats, because this basically just changes what kind of stats the game shows you when you make something in game. So for example, you get a save or you do a shot and it'll like say on top of like top middle part of your screen plus 50 points save whatever. So if you don't want that kind of clutter on your screen, I'd recommend you put it to main stats only, and everything else is default. Then uh, for the most interesting part, the camera settings, I have, of course, camera shake off. You should never have this on. And then I use 110, 270, 100, -3, and stiffness 0.4. Swivel speed is completely up to you. It's very, very different to the other things because there's not really anything that's optimal. With swivel speed, you should just use whatever number is good enough for you to quickly be able to look to the side of you with your joystick. Um, and transition speed, I used to play on 1 for a very long time, but I do think like using a 1.5 or a 1.6 is optimal, just whichever one feels comfortable for you. And 100% sure, make sure you have demo transition time on 0, because it's going to make it better for you in game to see where you're spawning, so it's less dependent on your reaction time, and you can actually just basically see where you are. Then for controls, my steering and aerial sensitivities are both set to 1.5, controller dead zone is 0.09, and dodge dead zone is 0.8. This is what I've been using for a couple of months now. I don't recommend changing these too much. Like if you're on something that you already find comfortable, just stick with it. But if you haven't found your perfect things, just maybe give these a try and see how it goes. Vibration, definitely turn it off. It's very distracting. Ball camera mode, toggle, and then some keyboard and mouse settings, which I don't use. Then for interface, I believe most of these are default as well, but what I do recommend you change is nameplate scale, because this is basically just like the size of the names of your opponents and your teammates in game. I set this to max personally, because the bigger the nameplate, the more likely you are going to be to see your opponent. For example, if you're dribbling the ball might be covering your opponent, especially if the nameplate is smaller. So I just put it to max, but if you think it's too big, you can make it slightly smaller. I just recommend putting it above the default, which is like 100 or 150, I'm not sure, but just put it as high as you possibly can without it being too big for you. Then I have nameplate mode on default, and match notifications I have on time updates only. I don't have any connection quality indicators on because those can be kind of buggy sometimes and show that you have some connection issues even when you don't. I use colorblind mode because I think it just looks better than the regular game. It looks kind of cool. And I have some of these settings off. And then the only thing that I have different to most people is that I have ball cam indicator off, which is basically just the red text on the bottom left of your screen when you're in game, and you have ball cam turned on. So I have that turned off, and everything else should be like default as well, I believe. So moving on to video, of course the default resolution. I use borderless. I don't full screen the game, and VSync should 100% be off for everyone playing this game. It doesn't do anything other than just make your game have more input delay, worse FPS, and just overall worse performance. Then I have all of these ticked off. I have used Bloom for a good amount because I think it makes Alpha Boost and stuff like that look, and some goal explosions look better, but I have turned it off recently because I like the cleaner version of the game. And then these are all on the lowest one, just performance and low intensity. Then anti-aliasing is off again, doesn't really do anything other than just reduce your performance, which you don't really need, or well, you don't want. Render quality is the only thing that you would actually have on high quality, because if I set this to high performance, you see the game starts to look very, very bad. So it's the only setting that you do actually want to have on high quality, because my car, actually looks beautiful. Whereas with it on high performance, it just looks very pixelated. And then frames per second, I have a 144 hertz monitor, and I get, if I uncap it, I do get like over 300 FPS in game as well, not just in the menu. But I do recommend you cap it slightly above your refresh rate, because this was what I was told. I used to run like 144 hertz, like the recommended one, because I thought that, oh well, if I have 144 hertz, I don't need above 144 FPS, right? But a friend of mine told me that you do actually have less input delay when you cap it above your FPS, or your hertz max. So I recommend you do that, because I've been using 240 for a couple of months now, even though I only have 144 hertz, and my game feels very, very smooth. So just try it out. And if you do have like lag or FPS drops because you're capping it at a number higher than your hertz max, then you can always just lower it down. But I recommend you try a higher one. Then for audio, just everything off, all the all the distracting things. Doesn't really matter. The quick chats, if anyone cares. I mean, don't really use these, but yeah. And also, a nice thing that I do recommend is to turn these off if your opponents are like talking to you, for example. A lot of the time, people are, Rocket League players are toxic, and to not let it get in your head and distract you from winning the game. Sometimes, like if people are quick chatting, even if it's your teammate, maybe they're like talking trash to you, and it's like you can see it's making you distracted or mad or whatever. Just turn it off and then play the game, and then you can turn it back on later. I've used this a lot over these past few months, because I think it can just make it easier to focus on the game. And also blocking non-tactical quick chats is also pretty good, because this way you do still have chat on. So if your teammate calls a kickoff strat, like a back corner kickoff or a Spanish, you still see it. So you don't, fully like ignore their call, but you won't see the what a saves and all that stuff. And extras, there's nothing here. So these are my settings. I hope you guys enjoyed, and good luck finding your perfect settings. And I will see you all in the next video.